Good evening, everybody. This is forecaster Brant Warren here in the Weather Center. We do have a tornado warning that was just issued a few seconds ago. I'm going to give everybody a chance to get in here and make sure you guys can hear me okay. Um, if you can, just send a quick message to in the comments, just making sure that everybody can hear me. All right, so good evening, everybody. This is forecaster Brant Warren here in the Weather Center. We do have a tornado warning that was issued here. We just had a new severe thunderstorm warning issued. I don't know if that was an update. It appears it was an update to the one that was already issued. But let's start off with this tornado warning right now. This is a tornado warning for Montgomery and Miami counties, and this goes until 4. Let me make sure I'm getting this right here. 4:15 p.m. We're going to be with you here for roughly the next 30 minutes here, unless this gets canceled. So this is a tornado warning for Montgomery and Miami counties, and I'll go ahead and switch to the velocity here, and we can see what we're working with here. So not much in the way of looking from Wilmington, but if we look from the terminal Doppler, that is the reflectivity. If we go to the velocity, you can see kind of a couple couplets here. One just east of Phillipsburg, one basically just north of Frederick right now, and then one to the west of Tip City. So several areas that we're watching for rotation right now. As I mentioned, the strongest one, if we go back a few frames here, we're going to go back a few frames, you can see it right about here, where the reds and greens were touching just west of Englewood and northeast of Clayton. That's when the tornado warning was issued. That's what we were seeing right there. Not much in the way of debris. Let me go ahead and check on the back end here. We're going to check the correlation coefficient, which is our debris tracker. Not seeing anything in the way of debris lofted in the air. But again, this circulation right here, just I'll zoom in a little bit, just west of Englewood, here's US 40. This is State Route 49. This is State Route 48. So right in between there is where we were watching. If you go ahead and fast forward to real time now, you can see that's kind of weakened. The main area of concern is just east of Phillipsburg, but we do have a couple couplets that we have to watch out for here. Again, northwest of Frederick, and another one. This I don't think this is much. Just west of Tip City, but anywhere in this tornado warning. I'll go ahead and zoom out so you can see the full box here. This does include Covington, Piqua, Troy, West Milton, Laura, Clayton, Vandalia. We'll zoom in a little bit more here. Garfield, Frederick, Kessler, Ludlow Falls. And it does include Upper Valley Medical Center. So this is just north of Dayton, just northeast of Dayton. This you're probably hearing the sirens there in Montgomery County because it does include the northern part of the county. This does include the Dayton International Airport, and so generally that area. If there is anything out of this, it's going to be rain wrapped. There's a lot of rain in this area, and I'll go ahead and turn. My apologies. I'll go ahead and turn this off. So we'll go back to the reflectivity here, and we'll click back to Wilmington, which gives us the better view. And you can see that this whole cluster of storms, basically from Springfield to just northwest of Dayton or north of Brookville. This is the cluster of storms that we're watching, and this is kind of a part of a broken line that was forming, basically from about an hour ago. It was from Cincinnati all the way up to northern Indiana. So, continuing to watch this area. Again, let's flip over to the velocity here, and just a second here. So the area that we're watching is just, it's going to be just east of Phillipsburg and just south of West Milton. This is the county line for Montgomery and Miami, and it is getting ready to cross over purely into Miami County now. So in just a few minutes, Montgomery County will, the circulation will be out of Montgomery County, but the tornado warning will likely remain in effect here soon. So the circulation has definitely weakened from where it was, and if this trend continues, I wouldn't be surprised to see it canceled early here. We'll look from the terminal Doppler, which is right here, very close to the radar site, and see if we're seeing anything. Yeah, there's still a couple areas, basically right over Garland in southern Miami County, just northeast of 5 Points. That's where we're watching for that rotation right here. I'll go ahead and circle it on the screen for you. There is one rotation signature, and here is another. They're both very broad. They're not indicating anything on the ground as of now. We don't have any debris on the tracker, which is a good thing. But nevertheless, we do have this tornado warning for another 25 minutes or so. And as I said, if this trend continues, we will likely see this expired early. But don't let your guard down yet. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning that basically encompasses the tornado warning, and areas outside of the tornado warning points north and east here. So again, tornado warning for Montgomery and Miami counties until... let's see, 4:15, and we just got a new scan in here. And I'm going to look at it on another radar software here. So still seeing Montgomery County has been dropped from the warning. So it is a pure Miami County tornado warning now. So again, I'll circle the two areas that we're watching just north, actually right over Kessler, and then another one right over Garland. The one over Garland was the one that triggered the warning because it was a very tight couplet there for a couple scans right over in the northern part of Montgomery County there, but this has since moved into Miami County. So Piqua, you are in the warning down the road. Covington, you are in the warning. Pleasant Hill, Ludlow Falls, West Milton. Troy, the city of Troy is in here. That's a big population center out in Miami County. So continuing to watch this, we're going to go ahead and put a track on this now, and I need to see what speed this is moving at. It is moving at 35 miles per hour, so not very fast. We'll go ahead and put a track on this for you, and we'll take it to the edge of the warning here. Oops, wrong thing, sorry about that. Nope. We'll do it at, actually I want to redraw that just a little bit here. So moving off to the almost due north, so we'll take it to the edge of the warning here. We'll do it at 35 miles per hour, and you can see some of the times pop onto your screen here, and make sure you can see that. Garland in 0 minutes, right over Garland as I just mentioned. Ludlow Falls, 8 minutes. Pattytown, 11 minutes. Pleasant Hill, 14 minutes. Circle Hill, 17 minutes. Mulberry, 20 minutes. And Mulberry Grove, 20 minutes. West Covington in about 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes for downtown Covington, which is up here in the northern part of the warning. Again, we'll go ahead and track the more easterly circulation as this one that is we just tracked is kind of dissipating just a little bit, but do not let your guard down. Take your tornado precautions. That is the lowest floor of your house, near the nearest to the center you can get. That could be a closet, a bathroom, whatever room is the closest to the center of your house, and as far away from windows as you can. The reason we say windows is because quite often during tornadoes, during weaker tornadoes, QLCS type tornadoes, we don't usually see complete house destruction, but we do see windows blown out, and that allows debris to fly in with the rushing wind from the storm. So that's why we tell you to stay away from windows. So here's the easterly circulation that we're watching, and there might actually be a couple more areas along this line that we'll have to track, but generally everything is on the downward trend. We did have a ramp up in velocity very quickly, but that has since dropped off significantly. Still broad rotation continuing for Miami County. This warning goes until 4:15 once again, and here's the easterly circulation. 13 minutes to Mulberry Grove, and then Covington roughly 15 minutes. So That's what we're working with here. I'll go ahead and zoom out, and we'll go ahead and get the radar from Wilmington back on here so we can get an idea of what the reflectivity looks like. So you can see kind of this mess right here of heavy rain and some lightning. Not seeing too much in the way of lightning, actually, just a couple strikes. So this is this storm cluster seems to be on the weakening trend, which is good. That's what we want to see when talking about tornadoes. But again, we did have that that very brief couplet that ramped up right there in northern Montgomery County that triggered this warning. So continuing to see a downward trend in the velocity here. We'll go ahead and put this into motion, and you can kind of see the direction this storm is moving, almost due north. It's actually a interesting storm motion we have here, due north. Troy, it is right on your doorstep. Piqua, within the next 15 minutes or so, is where the concerning part of the storm will be. We'll go ahead and zoom out and give you a generalized picture. You can see this very powerful line of storms moving through the Miami Valley right now, just east of US 23 here. This has had some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We've had some pockets along this line, and I'll actually flip over just briefly here. We're going to get back to our tornado warning. But you can see some purples in here indicating maybe some small hail, but mainly a gusty wind threat with this. I know when it went through my house a little bit ago, it was very gusty winds. So I haven't got a chance to look at how fast it was, but definitely if you're along this line that continues to move off to the east, continue to take your precautions there. But back up to our tornado warning now. Sorry to bounce around on you here. We're actually going to look at the velocity one more time. And yeah, it's pretty much, if there is any rotation there, it's very broad. It's broadened up a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see this tornado warning canceled relatively early here. But continuing to watch west of West Milton and then northeast of West Milton. Those are a couple spots that we're watching for a potential tornado. So we'll zoom out here, and actually, we're going to take a look here off to the east. Let's look in Springfield. We're going to switch over to the velocity. You can see very heavy rain just moved through reflectivity. Very heavy rain just moved through Springfield, Harmony, just north of I-70 there in Clark County. So continuing to watch some things here on the back end. Again, this is the Rotesa signature has weakened significantly from where it was when the warning was issued. If there is anything, it's just east of Ludlow Falls right now. So we'll go ahead and flip back to this, and I do expect this red box to disappear, which is the tornado warning, to disappear here very shortly. But Ludlow Falls, we're going to be watching right here in this area. Again, it's very broad. There's nothing tight, nothing on the debris tracker. So that is all good news in terms of us seeing something on the ground. We're not seeing any of that right now. And again, this is a tornado warning purely for Miami County now. It was issued in Montgomery County, but it's since moved into Miami County. And for it goes until another 16 minutes until 4:15 here. Very broad rotation. Nothing that really sticks out to me in terms of a very concerning storm. Actually, the entire structure of the storm is weakening in this area. Mm-hmm. If we go back to, let's go ahead and go back to reflectivity here, and you can see. You would see some lightning in here. You see a couple strikes here and there, not too much in the way of lightning. So it appears this this cluster right here may be weakening. Still some very heavy rain falling, and maybe some very, very small hail just north of Springfield there in Clark County, getting ready to move into Champaign County. But again, not seeing too much in the way. We'll flip back to velocity here. Not seeing too much in the way of rotation. Again, I do expect this warning likely to be dropped over the next couple minutes here. I don't think we'll go until the expiration date. We do have another tornado warning, actually, that was just issued for parts of our coverage area. We're going to jump down here. It does include, let's see here, Lawrence and Mason counties in Ohio and West Virginia. So a very small portion. You can see it flashing on your screen there. That is the new tornado warning. A very small portion of Lawrence County and Mason County in West Virginia, and this goes until 4:30. So seeing some uptick in activity as we progress through these couple of hours here, and several spots that we're watching. So again, this looks... let me actually use a different radar source here. We can see what we're seeing. So yeah, so this new tornado warning goes until 4:30. It does include, this is the Ohio River right here. It does include a very small portion of Lawrence County. The circulation is actually almost out of Lawrence County, but you can see this hook right here. That's where we're watching for the rotation. Some hail in this purple area. And if we actually, I'm going to draw this here, you can see this inflow. That's what we look for when we talk about tornadoes. We have to have good inflow to create that spin and cause that tornado to happen. And that's what we're seeing. We're not seeing too much in the way on velocity right now, just some very strong straight line winds. But again, this signature is very indicative of the possibility of a tornado forming at any second. And you can really see that ramp up here in the last scan. I will redraw this for you. You can see this the wind whipping around here and whipping into this hook, if you will. And that's what we are, that's the area of concern right now. So I can definitely see why this tornado warning was issued. Give me just a second. Just looking at some things on the back end here. Continuing to watch the new tornado warning that was issued. Again, this is for a very small portion. Actually, the entire storm system is almost moved out of Lawrence County now into Mason County, West Virginia. This is goes until about 4:30 p.m. and we'll actually double check our previous tornado warning, and that was dropped. So Miami County, I can give you the all clear that you were under. That tornado warning a few minutes ago, that has been allowed to expire. So now we switch our focus down to Lawrence and Mason counties, where we have this very interesting looking signature on radar here, right where this hook is. You can see the inflow here, and we'll go ahead and pop over to velocity here. That's where we're seeing that inflow and the kind of this hooking type structure on this storm. And this is the QLCS type tornadoes occur very briefly. They can be long-lived, but it's kind of rare to see a QLCS type tornado very long-lived. That means in a linear structure. So we'll go ahead and flip over to velocity here. You see this very powerful straight line wind here. If we actually hover over this, you can see some 70 mile per hour readings coming back there in that storm cluster moving into Mason County, West Virginia. So again, this is a tornado warning. We'll go ahead and turn that off for you. Not too much in the way of tight rotation, but if there is anything, we're going to be looking right in this area, just north of I-65 there, east of Huntington. In this area right here, and we'll go ahead and put a storm track on it for you. We'll go ahead and switch back to the reflectivity here, because I think this gives us a better view or an idea of where you're seeing this. You're seeing this inflow kind of wrap around this hook, and you can see this hooking structure just north of Milton and north of I-65 there in Mason County. So We're going to put a storm track on this for you. Let me see how fast it is moving so I can give you an accurate time here. Moving east at 40 miles per hour. So we're going to loop it. And you can see the general movement of this storm is more east-northeast. We'll go ahead and put a track on it for you here. We'll run it quite like this, just past the warning here. Do 40 miles per hour to pull up some times for us here. Let me make sure you can see that. I'm actually going to put it on this side. You got Eleanor in 19 minutes, Red House 22 minutes, Winfield 22 minutes, Hometown 24, Plymouth and Bancroft both at 25 minutes, and then further on down the road, Black Betsy and Raymond City 25 to 26 minutes. So again, this is the only active tornado warning in our coverage area, and again, this is for basically, Lawrence County is almost, I'm sorry for doing that. Lawrence County is almost in the clear now. The tornado warning, we have to respect the polygon. So it does include Rome in Lawrence County. But again, that will quickly drop off here since the storm is out of it. But you can see this, this definite hook that we're seeing. I'll switch it to 7 frames here, and you can kind of see the motion of this storm just north of Milton right now. You can see that hook kind of hanging on with us here, and we're not seeing too much in the way of velocity, but we are seeing that inflow to this storm. So we'll go ahead and name some towns out here, and then we'll go over our tornado precautions. You can see the inflow to this storm right here, and this hook that we have here coming around the backside. This is where we look for rotation, and that's likely where you'll see it right there if there's anything just north of Milton. But the good news is we're not seeing too much in the way of a couplet, but again, this warning was issued and is radar indicated. So we'll go ahead and name some towns out here. There's actually not too much in this area. This is I-64 right here. This is Hurricane, West Virginia. Basically areas along and points north of I-65 there in Mason County, West Virginia. This is where we're going to be watching for this tornado warning. Down the road, Winfield, Eleanor, right here along US 35. Raymond City down the road again, Cheyenne Valley. This is approaching the city limits of Hurricane, West Virginia. We'll go ahead and zoom in here. And it is currently right over the Mill Creek Wildlife Management Area. So if you know anybody in that area, or Dunley Gap, or any of the communities I just named out, go ahead and give them a call and tell them that there is a tornado warning in their area and to seek shelter as soon as possible. So we'll go ahead and put the storm in motion here. We're going to go over our tornado precautions again. Again, I'm going to probably sound like a broken record here, but that is you're going to go to the most center of your house, near the center as you can get. That could be a stairwell, a bathroom, any room that is near the center of your house and the furthest away from windows on the lowest floor is what you're going to look for. And as you go in there, try to bring anything to cover yourself. You can bring a bike helmet, you can bring a mattress, you can bring anything to protect you from flying debris. The head is a very vulnerable area, so if you have a helmet to put on the kids or anything to protect your head, a mattress is a good idea. Anything that you can protect yourself with from flying debris. So again, this is north of I-64 in Mason County, West Virginia. And we'll go ahead and look at the velocity one more time. And again, not seeing a very tight couplet here, mainly a straight line wind damage. But again, if we're seeing anything, it's going to be in this hook area right here. You can see this these brighter, almost whitish colors. We'll turn on the inspector tool again here, and we'll see if we see any 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it looks like it's backed off just a little, seeing some 60s and some 50s. So the good news is maybe a weakening trend with this storm, but again, a very, very indicative sign of a potential tornado at any second, just north of Milton and north of I-64. There in Mason County, West Virginia. Down the road again, Winfield, Eleanor, Buffalo. You are also in this warning. Just west of Cheyenne Valley and Cherry Grove is where we're watching. And I'm actually going to look on the back end here and see if we have any reports to pass along. I'm not seeing anything in the way of reports. Give me just a second here. So again, this is a tornado warning for Lawrence County, Ohio, which I expect that to be updated fairly quickly here to drop it off of the map because the storm system has moved out of Lawrence County. But again, Mason County, West Virginia, you are under a tornado warning for another 19 minutes here for a possible rotation that was spotted back in western Mason County. And again, this does include northwestern Putnam and northeastern Cable County and Lawrence County in Ohio. Those previous two counties are in West Virginia. So 4 counties. I know Mason County is in our coverage area, and maybe Ken, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. We can. I'm not too familiar with the Mid-Ohio Valley coverage area, but I know we do cover Mason County. If there's any counties I'm missing, please let me know. But again, looking heading into the Winfield, Eleanor area, and again, every scan that comes in, this seems to be weakening significantly. We don't actually see any... I don't really see anything. There may be something here, and I'm sure that is, if we flip back to reflectivity, you can see that is right associated with the hook. So maybe seeing something here. But again, this is the hook that we're watching along this QLCS type tornado warning. So you can see the inflow here, and then that wraps into the storm. And let's go ahead, and I'm getting reports from my team on the backside here. We're gonna look at Jackson, Ohio. We're gonna pop up there for just a quick second. We're gonna back out here and see if we see anything on the velocity. Not seeing anything too convincing here. We did get a report of possibly some damage out of Jackson, Ohio. That was a little bit before this scan will let me go back. But again, a tornado warning continues for part of our coverage area, one county in our coverage area, Mason County in West Virginia. That is part of the Mid-Ohio Valley. And let me see. Ken, can you confirm for me if we're streaming on Mid-Ohio Valley? Because my end, it says offline. I'm not sure if it is or not. But again, a tornado warning for Mason County, West Virginia, until 4:30 this evening. Again, not seeing anything in the way of reports, not seeing anything in the way of debris on the radar. We'll go ahead and just double check that with you here. We'll go to our higher resolution correlation coefficient. And what you're going to be looking for is embedded in this area of kind of a tannish purple and pink areas. You're going to be looking for some deep blues and grays, and we're just not seeing that. We're not seeing too much in the way of debris on the correlation coefficient here, but really the indicative sign of a possible tornado, or at least a structure capable of producing a tornado, is this inflow notch right here and this hook where you see kind of the storm bowing out right here. This is the hook, and this is where we look for rotation. Not seeing anything really on reflectivity. If you've been watching us over the past couple of years, or if you've ever watched tornado coverage, we always talk about the reds and the greens touching. And it's going to be, if anything, it's going to be somewhere in this area. And the good news is we're just not seeing it. You can see some pure greens there. And actually, the strong winds that we were seeing has actually died off significantly as well. So definitely a weakening structure here. Not saying it can't ramp up again, but as we get closer to the radar, we typically see a better indication of rotation, but the closer to the radar that we get, we're actually seeing less structure to this, less wind, less rotation to this. So that is good news. But again, this is where we're watching, and actually it's just kind of fallen off here in the past couple scans. So this is really good news. Right there is where that inflow notch was, and you can kind of see the rest of the storm catching up with it now. And kind of cutting off that inflow there. So we definitely are looking at a weakening structure here. And again, I'll look at some stuff on the back side here and not seeing anything, really anything in the way of reports out of this structure right now. So we'll back out. We'll give you a wider picture here. You can see this very long line of severe thunderstorm warnings just east of Lancaster, there in Perry County, all the way down to the Tennessee Valley here and into parts of Virginia. But again, we have that tornado warning, and I believe they just updated it. They did. So let's see if there's any updates to this at all. I'll make sure you can see this on the screen so you can read along with me here. This is a tornado warning that continues for southern Mason, east central Cable, and northwestern Putnam counties in West Virginia until 4:30. So Lawrence County, we can give you the all clear officially. You have been dropped from the tornado warning. Lawrence County, all clear. You are clear to proceed with your business, whatever that was. This dangerous storm will be near Winfield, Hurricane, Eleanor, Buffalo, Polka, Teays Valley around 4:20, and Nitro around 4:25. So again, what you're going to do in a tornado warning, well, you're going to go to the lowest floor of your house, get to the most center room of your house. That could be a bathroom underneath a stairwell. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and get as far away from windows as you can. That's gonna save your life in the event that a tornado pops up very quickly here. So again, looking at the velocity here, again, not seeing really anything in the way of anything indicating a tornado. This is the area that we'd be watching, and not really seeing anything in the way of anything concerning. We are fairly close to the radar, so we typically would be seeing it very clearly if it was if the circulation was low to the ground, or if there was something on the ground. But you can see more of just a rain and wind threat as of now, and the wind threat seems to be dying down as well in this particular area. So just looking at some stuff on the back side here. I'm going to chat with my team. So again, just south of Eleanor is where this rotation is going to be. We're going to be approaching Winfield here. And just looking at some other stuff here, seeing if nothing in the way of reports still. Nothing in the way of really anything indicative of an imminent threat for a tornado. But again, we have that tornado warning, so you're still going to take it seriously for another few minutes here until it expires. So again, looking at a couple products here on the back side. Again, we're just not seeing anything in the way of a imminent tornado threat. But again, as I say that tornado warning is still in effect, so we're still going to take it seriously. If we flip back to high resolution reflectivity or velocity here, you can kind of see something just west of US 35. It's going to be west of Eleanor and Winfield. And I'll go ahead and circle it here. This is the area that we're kind of watching. This is ramped up in the past scan. Give me just a second here. Kind of popped up in the last scan here. Very weak, if anything. But if there was any spot along this line, I would be concerned with. It's going to be right there, just west of US 35. So, again, this storm has fully moved out of the Mid-Ohio Valley weather update coverage area, as well as the Ohio News and Weather coverage area. So we'll go ahead and back out and give you a broader picture here. You can see a new severe thunderstorm warning that's flashing on your screen there. That's going to be for Perry and parts of Morgan counties. Actually, almost all of Morgan County in Ohio there. So severe thunderstorm warnings continuing to be issued for this line as it continues to move east through the Miami Valley. Again, I'll put this in motion here. Straight line wind damage is our biggest concern right now along this line. However, as you've seen, the reason we're on is a couple tornado warnings have popped up today, and we did mention that we did have a low end tornado risk today. So we'll continue to watch this line and see if we do get any additional tornado warnings out of it. But again, as this line continues to move east through the Miami Valley, or out of the Mid-Ohio Valley here, continue to stay away from windows. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. You can see the lightning strikes on your screen there. A lot of lightning associated with this line, all up and down this line, really. And it'll soon be out of our coverage area. We just have to get it through, and then we've got some rain on the back side here. Some pockets of some lighter rain. We'll go ahead and flip on the Wilmington radar. Oh, sorry about that. We'll go ahead and flip on the Wilmington radar here and see what's back off to the west. So some drying in southwestern Ohio here. Everything's pretty much on the downtrend. Once we can get this initial line off to the east here and out of our coverage area, we should be good for the rest of the day. We're going to continue to monitor the storms off to the west. We'll go ahead and pop back up here. And not really seeing anything in southern Indiana. So once this initial line gets through, we will wrap it up here. So continuing to watch this line for any potential tornado activity. If needed, we will come back on. But for everybody here at the Bell Park Weather Network, I am forecaster Brant Warren here in the Weather Center. We'll stick with you through the day here, and if we need to come back on, we will for additional tornado warnings. Until then, stay safe, everybody, and remember, when thunder roars, go indoors.